Hey, I'm Lana Skeldon, and this is the final whistle.
Hello and welcome back to the final whistle presented to you by the Rugby Connection podcast. Now, our next guest, synonymous with Scottish rugby. She has represented her country at under 15s, under 16s, under 18s, under 20s. She has 56 caps. Of those 56, 52 starts. Fresh from the Rugby World Cup in New Zealand, it's Lana Skeldon. Lana, thank you so much for coming on. How are you getting on?
Hiya, thanks for having me. No, I'm good, thanks. Just a bit over the jet lag now, so definitely starting to feel a bit more normal now. So all good, all good.
Good, good. And welcome to the show. You are our first hooker for the Scottish Rugby.
Yes, like I say, I'm delighted to be here, and have a chat and see what the chat is.
Yeah, well, we're just going to get the ball rolling. We ask all our guests this. What actually got you into rugby in the first place?
When I was a kid, I was always like really active. Like I always wanted to be outside. Like I wasn't one for sitting on like computer games or anything like that. So I always was wanting to be outside, and I just loved it. So then, mum and dad took me down to the Robbie Dies at Hoyk, and just that's kind of where it started. And then sort of went to like the toddler stuff, and then when I went to primary school, kind of took it up there. And then it's just always I was always been part of it my life from then on, really. So from about 4 years old, I just kind of got stuck in, and I've enjoyed it ever since.
I love that. Have you always played at hooker, or have you kind of been thrown in the mix here, there, and everywhere sort of thing?
It's funny you say that, because like my first cap for Scotland was on the back row. Um,
Yeah.
but before that, when I played at Melrose, I think I played 1, 2, 3, 6, 7, 8. I played a season at 9. I played a season at 12, and I played fullback at one point. But like, I definitely was not a fullback, but I did it anyway, just because that's how club rugby in Scotland went at that point. But I mean, it was good fun. So yeah, club wise, played a bit everything, but I'd say I started off as a back row and then transitioned into the front row. Um, just because a lot of teams want that extra back row within their forward pack, so it kind of suited me, and I quite like the fact it's got like the specific elements to it for me, like the throwing and whatever else. So yeah, just took it under my arm and went with it. So it's
Yeah,
done me all right.
I love the fact that you said the term stuck it under your arm because all you do is score tries recently. Off the mall. If you've not watched any of the games, one, what are you doing? Because it's fantastic to watch. And two, if there's a maul coming in from Lana, it's guaranteed to be a try because she just pushes over.
I mean, I've been working on that skill for a few years, but I seem to have got the hang of it now. But like I say, it's the people in front of me that are doing all the work. I'm just at the back steering it, and then I just dot it doing. So it's like a forwards try, but I mean, I'm quite happy to score it. I enjoy it. It's good fun, and I wouldn't really celebrate far too hard, but I'm here for it. I love it.
No, I love the passion that you bring every game. It's always like, it always comes across to me as if it's your debut.
I always like think. I think in the early days, I always worried too much about like performing well and stuff, and you kind of wasted a bit of energy on that. Whereas now I'm like, I just want to enjoy every time I play. So like, I don't put any extra pressure on myself. I just go out there to make everyone proud, and like you say, I treat every game like a fresh start almost. Because it doesn't always go to plan every single game, but I do try and put out pretty consistent performances, and like you say, try and show that passion because I just love it. So I want to make everyone as special as the one before, if that makes sense.
No, it definitely makes sense. And again, I love just your enthusiasm to every game and what you bring to the team. Because even though, well, you're one of the more senior players in a way, aren't you? Just caps wise, not anything else.
It's all right. You can say I'm old. It's fine. I know it.
You're
It's
not
fine. It's
old.
all
You're
good.
not old. You're fine. You're not old.
Yeah, like I am the second most capped in the team at the minute. So one of the more experienced ones, and I really enjoy and embrace the role of when the youngsters come in, trying to support them for what they need, and everyone's different. So even supporting people that have been in the team for a long time, like
Yeah.
I know everyone relatively well, so I want to be there for them and give them what they need. So yeah, like people do that for me as well, obviously, but I like to take on that role of the like looking after everyone and making sure everyone's having a good time, because that's ultimately why we're there, is to have a good time and make everyone proud. So that's why we're there.
There you go. Lana brings the vibes. That's what we're after.
Well, I try. Like I am known for. We call it a little bit of a stormy normie. It basically means when I'm in a bad mood, but I'm never in a bad mood. I just don't really. I do smile, but like I just have like that face. Do you know what I mean? Like I have that face when I'm in and around training, and everyone's like, "Oh," but then when I do smile, people are like, "Oh, wow, there it is," and I'm like, "Yeah, I am happy all the time, but like I'm just not much of a big smiler. Like I do smile when I'm happy, but yeah, I'm known as a little bit stormy normie, but it's okay because everyone knows who that is, and it's fine. It's all good.
Yeah, at least you're well known around the camp. Then there you go.
Well, I'm known for that, which is cool. It's fine by me. It's true, so it's fine.
Obviously, it is a very important time, not just for Scottish rugby, but for women's rugby as a whole. And I've been clamping down on this since we started getting female rugby players. So I'm going to ask you as well, and I really hope the answer is yes. Are you a professional rugby player?
I am now, yes.
Yes, there we go. Happy days.
So obviously the support that the SRU gave us throughout the sort of summer, in the lead up to the World Cup was fantastic. It allowed us to train together, and you definitely seen it in the World Cup. You've seen the change, you've seen the improvements. Ultimately, we didn't get on the right side of the results, but as a team and as a professional outfit, we are definitely taking steps in the right direction, which is great. We are, the SRU are backing us and in a tremendous fashion, if I'm honest. So I can only see things getting better from here on in.
Oh, 100%. I've already said to because we've got a women's show as well from Jemma and Anja, and I've said next year's Six Nations, so 2023 Six Nations, could be the most entertaining just because everyone is on a level playing field and about time as well.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think the World Cup's been a fantastic tournament, but I think moving into the Six Nations, well, especially from a Scottish perspective, we are there to compete against any team that's there. And I think if you were to ask Wales and Italy and Ireland and England and France, they'd have the same response, which is what you want. You don't want people being like, "Oh, we've not got any chance of beating, say, England, for example." Like I said, we're making progression and steps forward, like to close that gap and get closer to them. I'm not going to deny it. They're a fantastic outfit. They are. They've been professional a long time, so you'd expect that. But I think in terms of the Six Nations, I think it's going to be really tight. I think it's going to be really close, and like you say, some exciting games for the Scottish fans, but also just for anyone that follows rugby and watches any of the Six Nations games.
Yeah, and sticking on with, it's more for the naysayers, and I'll get your opinion on that as well, because you get call them the keyboard warriors, shall we say, to put it nicely, who cares about women's rugby, blah, blah, blah. Well, first of all, I do. That's why we're talking about it.
Yeah.
But everyone cares about women. People that like rugby care about women's rugby.
Yeah, that's what I've found anyway. Like, since coming back from the World Cup, the amount of people I've bumped into has been like, "Oh yeah, like I got up and watched your game like through the night," and I was like, I didn't even think you cared, but like just rugby fans who want to watch rugby and want to support men or women, and that's like how it should be. So like they honestly, the amount of messages and stuff I got when I was out there from people I've not spoken to for years, but they just want to watch rugby and they can see how much it's progressed and how exciting it is. Like, it's very different from the men's game. It has a different intensity and a different tactic, I suppose. But then if you look at men's rugby over the years, it's changed. Like, even their tactics and strengths and whatever else has changed throughout the years. So that's what women's rugby is doing as well. So I think, yeah, like you say, anyone that loves rugby, anyone wants to be a fan of rugby and support it will watch it. Like, so yeah, I think there's been a big change in that. Like, it's definitely more positive nowadays, I'd say.
Oh, 100%. And I think one thing that stood out to me before the World Cup, and I think it was actually me and you that spoke about this, was the open session to send you girls on. Was that the first open session for the girls?
I think it's the first one I've been part of, and I've been there for 11 years, so I think it might be. I think it's something that I think that will be used from now on. I think the reaction from the people that came, and it was just really nice to be able to actually go and speak to people after a training session. Like, sometimes after a game, you're a bit limited to how much time you've got or whatever. So, like, it was really nice to be able to come up into the stands and just speak to everyone. And like, it just felt we were so connected to the fans then. So I hope anyway, moving forward towards the Six Nations and through the Six Nations, I'd like to think that they will put some more of those in there, because I thought it was great.
Yeah, I mean, I enjoyed it and loved having a good old conversation with you. It had nothing to do about rugby. We just stood in the middle of the Orium, freezing, by the way. The Orium is absolutely beyond cold. Just having a chat about, I don't even know, I can't even remember what we were talking about.
Yeah, just getting to know people. Like, obviously, you're there to watch the rugby, and you're there because you want to be part of our journey, which is awesome. But like, just knowing us as human beings as well, like we are just human beings at the end of the day. So getting to know people's personalities and characters is part of it. So yeah, it was awesome to come up and just, like you said, just chat about random things. There wasn't really anything in particular. It was class. Like that's what I'm good at, is just speaking of whatever you want to talk about. I'm cool with it. I don't mind.
Yeah, and that's why you're here, because we want the natural conversations. I don't like the whole 3 days before the interview, here's the questions. So you already know what you're getting asked, and then you give me your safest answer in a way. No,
Yeah, I know what you mean.
I like to catch people off guard. Not even with anything controversial, just you'll find out later on. But there's some that you'll go, "Ooh, that's a tricky one." And when I'm looking at it, I'm like, it's not tricky. It's just because it catches you off guard.
Yeah, I mean, I will always say it as it is, as you will probably already know. So,
Yes, I know.
like, I don't mind doing like casual conversations and stuff, like in terms of like podcasts and stuff. It allows me to express myself and just say what I think in a way. So, no, I like this style of media. Shall it
Good.
be?
I like that. We've got some questions. I say fan questions. It's mostly from the team behind us. Cam has asked. Now this is a weird one. I had to get him to explain it. Would you rather win the Grand Slam, so the Six Nations Grand Slam, or finish runner up in the World Cup?
Ooh, that is a tough one.
Because to me, I thought it was fair. I thought when I read it, I was like, well, surely winning is better than not winning. But a World Cup final, yeah, I couldn't I couldn't decide.
Having just came off the back of a World Cup, that's a hard question to answer. To be honest, like as me as a person who's been involved in so many Six Nations tournaments, I feel like for me right now, winning the Grand Slam would be absolutely incredible, because we've had it really tough over the years. We have won some games, but the thought of winning the Six Nations would be like a dream come true, because to be honest with you, we've never been that close whilst I've been playing. Yes, I'd love to make it to a World Cup final, but if I was in the World Cup final, I'd want to win it. Like you say, I'd want to be there to win. I wouldn't want to be runner up. Like, and that's not me saying I wouldn't be grateful to be there. I would if I got to a World Cup final. Like I can't even imagine what that must feel like. So yeah, like I would love that to happen. But for me right now, in the place I'm in right now, I'd say winning the Grand Slam, just because it's more relatable to how my journeys went. I've only been to one World Cup where I've played in, I don't know how many Six Nations, like I can't remember, like 9 or 10 maybe.
Yeah, no, that's fair. In an ideal world, you win both, and that's the safe answer.
Well, yeah, that would have been the safe answer, but yeah, that's me being honest and saying probably the Grand Slam right now. But once I've been to maybe the next World Cup, hopefully, then I would maybe be leaning more towards a World Cup final.
Yeah, that's fair. I like that, and I like how the answer changes over time as well. So there you go.
Yeah.
We've got a question from Jemma, who I mentioned earlier. She's asked, away from rugby, who's your biggest inspiration?
Ooh. I spoke about this recently on the Happiness is Egg-Shaped podcast.
Oh, I love Bruce.
Yeah. And I find this question quite hard to answer, purely because there's not like one individual person.
Mm-hmm.
The majority of the people that I'm linked to, if I'm honest, are all rugby related in some way. I don't really have friends outside of it, which is fine by me. I don't really mind.
That's fine.
But like my inspiration and my motivation, it really does come from, we've got this group of friends. Well, I've got this group of friends, and we are known as the palm trees, right? And I'll explain what that means. It also explains, you may be able to see it. I don't know if you can see it. The tattoo on my arm here.
Oh yeah.
So it's a palm tree. And the reason I've got that on my arm is because this group of friends that I made when I was at Melrose Rugby, when I went to the ladies team, there's friends there that I've met, and they're people I hold really close to my heart because they've been there throughout the whole of my ups and downs. Like, they celebrate me with me when I do great things, but also when life gets you in really tough places. Like, they've been there and they've always believed in me no matter what. And to this day, they are there for me. So they're like my anchor, if you know what I mean. Like, they're like inspirational to me because of the love and the friendship that they show me, and I can show them it back, if that makes sense. Because when I was growing up at school and that, I didn't really have, I did have friends, but not like that. Like, that was when I first found my place, was with them. So for me, that's my like motivation, inspiration, and like, it wouldn't be fair of me to try and name them all, because it's a small group, but there's not really one that I see above another. There's a couple that I'd say I'm closer to, just the nature of friendships, but it's a group of people that, yeah, they're my motivation and my inspiration, because without them, there's been times where I wouldn't have believed in myself, and I wouldn't maybe have kept playing, and I maybe wouldn't have led the lifestyle that I knew deep down that I wanted. And they always remind me of the good things I do, as well as the rough bits. So yeah, them probably.
No, I like that. I really like that. That's class, because it doesn't matter what you do, whether it's rugby, anything away from rugby, you need your core group of friends that aren't just there for the good times. Like you said, they're there for when you're down and doubting yourself. They're there to pick you up, and yeah, I love that, because I think I've got a good group as well.
Yeah, the one of them is funny because like, they all love the fact that I play for Scotland, and they're all so proud of me, and like, they're always there and stuff. But one of them calls me the national treasure, and it's just a joke. But I'm like, you need to stop saying that, because it's not true. Like, yous are all my little national treasures. I'm not the national treasure, but they're like, this is what they call me, because like, obviously, because I play for Scotland and whatever. But yeah, it's sweet. Like, it's not a joke, but it is, if you know what I mean. Like, they're a bit sarcastic, but it's funny. Like, it's funny because it brings me down to earth as well. Not that I really need that much, but like, it does. Like, it's funny, and I like the fact they make a joke of it, because I don't want them to feel like I'm any more superior than them, because I'm not. I'm the same as them, and that's what I try and say to them all the time, even though they remind me of how great I am, which is lovely. But I'm not the type of person to be like that, if you know what I mean. So yeah, they're really sweet, and yeah, I couldn't do this journey without them. I really couldn't.
No, I like that, and might start calling you the national treasure as well.
I mean, you can jump on the bandwagon if you like, but I mean, it's so not true. But yeah, go for it if you want.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see next time. I'll see you. Whatever comes out first. We've got a question from Amy. She's asked, "How do you mentally prepare for games?" And she's also managed to chuck another one in. If you've got any pre-game rituals.
So I'm pretty sure anyone in the team would say on game day, I am the most chilled out person. If anyone's feeling nervous, I'm a good person to be around, because I am literally horizontal. And the only reason that I'm like that is because, like I said, when I was younger, I spent so much time wasting energy that I'd get to the game and I'd be absolutely exhausted from the nerves. Whereas now, I just channel that energy, channel that nerves into excitement. Like, I just turn it on its head and like, no, I'm just excited. So like, I'm like super chill. Like, I quite prefer a later kickoff. So like, anything after like sort of 3-4 o'clock, I prefer after that, because I like the day to like relax and just chill out, and then slowly build myself up towards the game. In terms of rituals for the game, I would always put my left boot on before my right boot, and I have no idea why I do that, but I do it before every single game.
Fair enough.
It's just random. I really have no logic behind it. I've just always done it, and now I can't stop doing it. And then the only other thing I do is, at a certain point, I come off my phone. I'll only listen to music on my phone. I don't have my phone on me after a certain point, because I like to just focus on the game, and any messages that I might receive, I'll just pick them up after and I'll reply then. So yeah, really just the boot thing, and then just the fact that I'm really chill, and I think I'm good to be around on game day, because like I say, like I'm not nervous, so I'm good to be around for that.
Yeah, no, that's good. And I like that. You do need the kind of like the chilled out person. Doesn't matter what position they are, if they're starting, if they're on the bench, you kind of need that cool head in the changing rooms.
Yeah, and like I will be like that until we walk out for the anthems. Then I flick a switch and turn into a completely different animal. But up until that point, I'm really chill. Even in the warm up, like I'm getting up for the game and I'm getting into the zone, but I'm not like stressed. I'm not nervous. I'm just enjoying myself. And until I get to the anthems, where like I say, I turn into a slightly different person, that's fine. Because then I can use all the energy I've got from then
Yeah.
on.
No, that's fair. That's a great answer. Well, I've got a fan question. It's from Ailey. She's asked, what were your top 3 Rugby World Cup moments?
Oh, that's a good one. Right, let me think. To be honest, scoring against Wales was pretty awesome. Like first try at a World Cup, and just the sheer emotion and passion and everything that came out of that in that moment for me as an individual, but also the people around me. Like I was celebrating so hard on the floor that I forgot to stand up, but then people just picked me up and it was great. And despite the fact we didn't win that game in that moment by itself, like that was pure happiness for me. And just like I say, score my first try at World Cup was pretty incredible. Despite the fact it was the people in front of me that did all the work, I was the one that finished it off. So, but yeah, no, that was definitely one. Um, Let me think. There were so many. The second one would be facing the Haka.
Of course.
Like I thought I was going to be really, really terrified by it, as in like scared. But you know what? Like it was just incredible to watch. Like I had a few obviously of their players right in front of me, and I was just standing there, just so respectful of what they were doing, and just really embracing and enjoying the moment and taking the energy from them and taking it into my own performance. Like I found that's how I dealt with it, was using the energy they had and putting it into my performance. But facing that was something that like that might never happen again. It might, like, you don't play New Zealand that often, so facing the Haka was pretty awesome.
Yeah.
It was cool. And the third one would probably be a non-rugby one.
Okay.
We got to do like some activities on the days off, and every activity that I did was pretty cool. But I think for me, I went golfing one of the days, and do you know what? I've never laughed as much. I've never had, like, the day was just such a great day, like from start to finish. And I went round. I had in my buggy was me and Chloe were in a buggy. Me and Chloe Rowley were in a buggy, and then Brian was in his own buggy, and we set off as a group. And then behind us was Molly Wright and her mum, and then Gav, the kit man, and Max, the guy that was our liaison. So we're in 2 separate groups. But me, Brian, and Chloe honestly had such a great time. We just couldn't stop laughing the whole way around. Like we were actually playing some decent golf, but it was just so funny. Like, because obviously we're not golfers, so there was some moments. One that will live with me forever was we were going down. I think it was the 14th hole, and we teed off, but the like bypass, like the road was right next to us with a fence,
Right.
and we'd all been like hooking it to the right, like so. Chloe went first, and she's like, oh, "I'm gonna aim like more slightly left," and I was like, "Okay, that'll be fine because you've been hooking it." She couldn't have hit it any more dead straight over the fence, and this ball was bouncing down the bypass behind this car, and she couldn't look, and I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "It's going to hit that car," but it didn't. It bounced right the way behind it, the whole way down this bypass, and eventually went off onto the grass. But do you know what? Just one of the moments that I'll never forget, and I couldn't stop laughing for about 10 minutes after it. Brian was laughing, Chloe was laughing. Eventually, once she realised you hadn't actually hit anything. But yeah, like that day for me was just a really wholesome, great day. Like, and I think that's probably one of the top moments for me out there, just because I remember how happy I was and how happy the people around me were, and that is something that like means a lot to me, is seeing like Brian and Chloe were having a great time as well. So yeah, no, it was class, and I think that would be my third one.
So would you start, like, if you were reminiscing, would you be like, do you remember that time Chloe nearly caused an accident in New Zealand?
Yeah, yeah. But that is literally how I would start the conversation, because it was so funny. And honestly, if you could have seen her face, it was hilarious. She was just like, she's like, I couldn't look, she couldn't turn around. She knew she'd hit it dead straight. And I was like, of all the times for you hit it dead straight, that was the one time not to do it.
Thing is, you couldn't write that either. Like,
No, you couldn't, and I kept saying that the whole way around. I was like, you can't write that.
brilliant. I love that. We have got not a farmer. We have got a member of Scotland. Gave me a little bit of information. They said that you've never done anything embarrassing to really stand out, but they did mention a saltire cut and coloured into your hair. So
I've done that twice now. Do you know that?
Fair enough.
The first time I did it on the side, like there. And,
all right.
I actually dyed it blue as well. This was way back in 20. It was when the red strip was out, so maybe 2014, 15, round about then.
13, 14, I think. Yeah.
Aye, round about there. Well, that was when I did the first one. And then before I went to was it the week of the USA game? I think it was. The week of the USA game, I shaved one into the back of my head.
Gosh.
I just thought, you know what, right? Why not? Like, why not? So, yeah, I've done it twice now. It's cool, though.
Fair. The question is, who gave me that information? Who told me that you put saltire in the back, well, on your head twice?
Rona.
It wasn't Rona. It was not Rona. I'll give you one more guess, and then I'll tell you.
Lisa Thompson.
No, it wasn't Lisa Thompson. I don't know Lisa Thompson, sadly.
Oh, right. Well, that would be my two guesses.
It was your friend that caused the accident in New Zealand.
Chloe.
It was Chloe.
That would have been my next guess, but I didn't think she would dob me in it, to be fair. But yeah, that would be my next guess.
She did say that you don't really do anything embarrassing to mention, so.
Not really, no. Like, no, I'm pretty plain Jane, but yeah, no, I'm pretty sensible, to be honest. Most of the time, I'd say 85% of the time.
There you go. That's fine.
If you ask Rachel McLaughlin, she'll probably give you a different answer.
I've actually got a story about Rachel. I don't know if she actually is aware of this, but yeah, it was so it was after it was the Edinburgh game when you got to come around at half time.
And
obviously, you were all on the socials, you were all having a great laugh. I seen Rachel absolutely away with the fairies at full time. And she kind of recognised me because obviously I met you in that afternoon. And she was like, "Oh, hi." I was like, "You all good?"
Yeah. No, we had like a little like meal thing, and then we were sitting at the game watching the Edinburgh boys, and then, like you said, did a wee lap round. But yeah, a few people were letting their hair down, shall we say, which is cool.
That's what I meant to do at the rugby.
Exactly. I had a few pints that night as well, but I wasn't as bad as Rachel. I was fine. Whereas Rachel, I remember she was sitting behind me, and I could just remember her just getting louder and louder as the game went on. And I was like, yeah, I don't even need to turn around. I just know.
Fair.
Which is fine.
That's fair enough. Obviously, like this core group of the team has like took the internet by storm. So are you part of the Wales?
Well, so I do actually have one sevens cap where I went to Ukraine and played sevens for Scotland. So yes, I am part of the Wales. But yeah, like it's kind of like leaked into the 15s now. So yeah, I am part of the Wales. I just do a little bit of singing, not singing. That's not the right word, but you know what I mean. Speaking along to the words, you know.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, no, I am part of that. Yeah. I don't sing. That's the wrong. I'm sure you've heard me at the anthems. I definitely do not sing. I just shout.
I've not heard you directly. I've heard like just the girls all in unison. So I've never like pointed you out by like a little picture or whatever.
No, I know. I get carried away sometimes. I just start shouting.
That's what you want though. I mean, there's a video of me that's all over the Scottish Rugby socials. It's me calling it Forever Goosebumps. I've always described it like that. And when I said it, I was like, that's the stupidest way to describe it. But
no,
everyone that heard it, no, but it is. I was like, it doesn't make sense. It's not even a description.
No, but it does make sense. If you sing it and you know it, it does.
That's fine. As long as everyone else understands, that's all that matters.
Aye, but they do. Of course they do. If you're Scottish, you'll get it.
There you go. If you're Scottish, you know. There you go. But if you don't, then tough. Come to Murrayfield and find out.
Yeah, wait till the bagpipes go, and then when the bagpipes go off, you come and tell me if that doesn't give you goosebumps, because it definitely does.
the amount of times just this autumn with like family friends come along for the first time, I'm like, see when the bagpipe stops, you will cry.
I know, like, because obviously I'm used to singing it like about to play, so it's like I'm used to like absolutely screaming it. So like when I was watching last week, I was like, right, these people either side of me, well, obviously the person on my left was because I was with him, but the person on my right has no idea who I am or what I'm going to be like if I start shouting this anthem. So I like took it down a bit just because I was watching rather than playing. But still, when the bagpipes went off, I was like, that is absolutely unreal.
It's just the best. They need to bring that for yours because I don't like it, especially it's usually away games you pick up on it when they just keep the tune playing. I'm like, no, stop it and let us take over.
Yeah, exactly. Because we're loud enough anyway. Like,
hell yeah.
Yeah.
Loud and proud. That's our whole thing, is loud and proud.
Well, we're definitely that. I'll give you that.
There we go. You are synonymous with being the hooker. For the most part, I mean, we know that you played here, there, and everywhere growing up, but you are an out-and-out hooker now. So, who is your dream front row partners? You can pick 2 loose heads, 1 past, 1 present, and a tight head past and present. You don't have to have ever played with them. You could just really admire their work.
Oh, God, that is a hard one.
I know, I love these ones. These are like my favourite question.
That is tough going that. Let me have a think. Just give me a sec. Whoa.
No worries.
I'm assuming this is in the female game. Or is it either?
It's up to you. You're the guest. You can pick.
I'll keep it on the women's side just because it breaks it down a bit. It's a bit easier then.
Okay.
Like, as in, like, if I had both, I'd be like, whoa. Right. Okay. My favourite front row to have played with,
okay,
I'll start with that one.
Okay, that's
would be. Oh, it's really tough. You know, that's just so hard. I adore playing with CB. She's an absolute legend. I just love, like, me and her have got such a good relationship. Like, it's more than just the fact that we're playing rugby next to each other on the pitch. Like, we're just so tight. Like, that's why it's extra special. And obviously she transitioned from playing in the second row, back row into the front row, and I was there when she transitioned into the front row. So I feel like we've been through a journey within a journey, so it's cool. So she'd definitely be one, 100%. I'm trying to think outside of Scotland, but it's really hard because I just admire the people that I've had either side of me. Because obviously you get real close to them. I'd probably say it's hard because quite a lot of ours interchange, so like they do both. I'd say definitely, obviously, Megan, because when there was one game, it was Megan was playing. Oh no, was she? I can't remember which way around they were, but Megan was on one side and CB was on the other side. And we beat Wales that day. That was actually Megan's last game, unfortunately. So she scored that day, but that day was a great day. Oh, it was unbelievable. And to have either of them on either side of me was just unbelievable. Like, they're 2 fantastic rugby players, but also I'm very close to them both. So, like, singing the anthems with them either side of me, and for Megan to score, and we didn't realise that was going to be our last game, but that was a very special moment. And yeah, like I say, Megan and CB have a great bond as well, like, because obviously Megan helped CB a lot through learning the new position, and yeah, the 3 of us have been through a lot as like a little subunit. So that would probably be my first choice of the front row, just based on tightness, and there's a lot of reasons behind it. Like, we've all been on a journey within a journey. I feel like those 3. Right, I'll pick another 2. I will get there. It's so hard.
They can come off the bench if it could be real. The next 2 you're going to pick will probably come off the bench just to make it easier. Maybe. I don't know if it makes it any easier for you.
This is I'm going to go this in terms of like who I enjoy playing alongside.
Okay,
like, because obviously those 2 I do that, but they had like more meaning behind them. But these ones I just enjoy being on the pitch with them. Like, they're fun to be next to, and we bounce well with each other. So Molly, Molly Wright, I enjoy playing alongside her. Because we play the game quite similarly in terms of like she quite likes to utilize her skills, but also like I met her first when I was at Watsonians, and I think because I met her at club before she came to country, again we've kind of got that friendship there already, and I think anyone watching us, we do play well together. So I definitely have Moll there. And the other side, do you know what? I'm going to go for Anne Young.
Okay.
Now, there is so many people I could choose. Like Leah, obviously I spent a lot of time with Leah as well, and she's another one that would be in there. Any of the ones I've played with recently, to be honest, we're so tight, it's really hard to say. But for me, Anne and me have been on the pitch together once, I think. But we have trained together, and I've been with her since she first came into the Scotland squad. That girl has been on some journey, and I'm just so excited to see the future she's going to have, because she's going to be incredible. But she came out to South Africa with us in 2019, and that's when I really first got to know her. And she is just so inspirational. That girl, honestly, she trains so hard and has improved so much over the last 2 or 3 years. But you know what? She is an absolute gem to have in your team, because that she went out to New Zealand, didn't play, but the amount of work she did to help us prepare for the games, and she did not bat an eyelid once. She just gets on with it, and she's just there for the team. And I know her time's going to come eventually. But in terms of the whole package, in terms of like, I'm really good friends with her. We have a great friendship, but also just a team player and someone that's so valuable to our squad. And unfortunately, the fans haven't really seen her yet because she's not played much, but she will, and she will come through eventually. So yeah, I'd pick her based on just the full package. So like Moll, I like playing alongside. Megan and CB, that was my favourite combo. But Anne is just incredible, and I have so much admiration for the girl, because she is just an absolute trooper in every walk of life. Honestly, she's so good. But yeah, there's so many I could have picked. Like obviously you've got Lisa Coburn, who's out injured at the minute. Like me and her spent a lot of time together in past seasons, and obviously I spent a lot of time with Leah. Like these are people that I have so much respect for, and like I love playing with them all. But if you put me on the spot and you make me choose 4, that's the 4 I'd choose.
That's fair. I mean, just the depth you've named there, just for front. That's just for front row. We're going places. There you go.
Yeah, and it's also worth mentioning. Obviously we're talking about Anne Young, who's a fantastic young prospect, but it's worth mentioning Ellis as well. Ellis Martin, she is going to be the next Scotland hooker at some point. One that I want to take on my journey with me and make her get to where she wants to get to, because she's a great talent. She's young, but she will 100% become one of Scotland's stalwart players over the years. I know it, I can see it, and I think Ellis and Anne are 2 people that I'm excited to see what happens in the next couple of years, because I do think you're going to see more of them both.
There you go. I just couldn't agree with you anymore. We've got one more question just before we go into something different in the show. Just any advice you've got for young girls wanting to break into rugby?
I think for me, it's like, as long as you're there and you're enjoying it, like that is the most important thing. If you like rugby and you want to be at rugby, then just go, like, and just do it, because that's what I had to do. I didn't really have much options. I didn't really have much in the way of like girls teams down here, but I feel like there's so many more options nowadays. Just get along and just go and enjoy it. Like, and something I've mentioned before is that us as Scotland women players, we are approachable. Like we are approachable, and we want to be down at clubs, and we want to be sharing this message, and we want to inspire the next generation. But for me, I wouldn't want to push someone into something they didn't enjoy. But for a young girl who enjoys rugby, loves the sport, just stick at it and just keep going, because we are showing you where you can get to. Like, did I ever think I'd go to a World Cup in New Zealand? No, I did not. Like, but it is possible. World Cups are possible. Traveling the world is possible. Meeting friends that are incredible and being part of something that is so, so special is possible. And I think for me, it's just making sure you enjoy yourself and follow and chase your dreams, because that's exactly what I'm doing. I still do it now. So yeah, I think for me, just make sure you're enjoying it, but yeah, just stick in and get through the tough bits because it's worth it for the good bits.
Yeah, yeah, couldn't agree more. I love that. It's just get stuck in, have fun, like you said. That is the main thing. I did say one more, but just because the way you were going there, British and Irish. I will call it Lioness just to make it easier, but will it happen, and when will it happen?
Do you know what? I actually have no idea. Like I'm the type of person that I don't think too far in front because I know what my goals are in rugby, but I don't want to be distracted, if you know what I mean. Like I just want to focus on what I'm doing just now. But yeah, like I think it will happen. I think maybe in the next couple of years. I think, especially off the back of this World Cup, like I think there will be something somewhere relatively soon. But yeah, for me as an individual, I don't think too far in front. But yeah, I think that's the next step for women's rugby is to have that. And I think it will happen. I think within the next couple of years. I don't know the logistics behind it and all that, but from a rugby point, I see it happening in the next couple of years.
100%. I can't remember who I said this to, but I think like the Women's Six Nations getting moved because of COVID was like a blessing in disguise, because then the guys get their go and everyone's watching, and then the girls get a go, and again the world's watching. Not like the guys are playing, and oh, by the way, the girls were playing at this time. You don't have to, like, there's only so much time in the day to do both. So
Exactly.
I think the Lion, I will keep calling it the Lioness just to make it easier now. I think the Lionesses tour that will happen, don't do it in the same place and don't do it at the same time as guys, because
I agree.
Kind of, I'm not saying it would on me, because I would definitely watch it and give it the full interest. I feel like it might just slip under the radar. It needs the full, like this World Cup. There's nothing else on. You need its full attention.
Yeah, no, I agree, and I think that's the route they'll have to go down as well, is a different destination and like you say, at a different time. Even if it's like a week before or whatever, or a week after or whatever, it doesn't matter. But like I don't think having it on at the same time's a good idea because, like you say, the way it is just now is that it will just slide under the radar a bit. So I think for me, yeah, like different time, different place is a good way to go with it.
The only benefit if it was together would be like the whole unity. I was about to say Scottish Rugby's so good at that as one, but
yeah, no, like I agree. Like I think like maybe they might need to look at it in terms of that some fans may stay on and watch a second game if it was back to back. If it's back to back in the same stadium, fine, because people are likely to stay on. But I think if they're in different places, that's when it gets a bit of a tough topic, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well, we've not got the power to make that decision, so
no. But it would just be incredible if there was a tour and if I was still playing, that'd be great because I would really, really love to do that. But like I say, I don't really look too far in front. I just concentrate on playing well just now, and then whatever path I'm going to go on, I'll go on it. Whether that's just playing for Scotland, then that's absolutely fine by me because that's an honour and a privilege as it is. So we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. We are going to go into a different section now. This is getting to know Lana. It's more just personal questions. It's nothing too rugby based, so you should be all good.
Well, there'll not be much to talk about then, is there? There's no rugby.
I don't know. I mean, I could try and make it as rugby based if you like.
No, it's all right. I'm only joking. It's fine. Fire them.
Cats or dogs?
Dogs.
I'm still waiting for somebody to pick cats. I don't know why I keep going now.
Nah, I'm a dog person. Like I had a dog myself, and all my friends, like I always steal their dogs because I just love them.
Fair enough. Favorite, hobbies away from rugby. I know that might be hard.
I love baking and cooking.
Ooh.
I've got a wee Instagram page called Scalper Scran, and
Nice.
on there is just like sometimes I'll post about where I've been for my lunch, or sometimes I'll post the stuff that I've made. Sometimes I have little competitions to win, like a box of goodies or whatever. Yeah, it's just something away from rugby that like I really enjoy it, and I like to relax doing that. So yeah, my most popular product, if you want to say that, would be my granola, which everyone loves. So that's what I do.
Scalpers granola. I like that.
Aye, it's good.
Why are you called scalpers? There we go. There's just
So when I was at Melrose, obviously my second name's Skeldon, and it just kind of happened, and it kind of stuck. So like, not many people call me it. Only people from the Melrose team really call me it. But then Scalper's Scran, like, it couldn't be more Scottish if you tried. So I just love it.
You couldn't try any more. I
know. So like, it's got a good ring to it as well. So I was like, yeah.
I'm
I'm
actually toning down my accent for this interview. So
I know sometimes I forget, and I'm like, oh well, that was really Scottish. Whoopsie. Never mind.
I think it's when I had Rona on and I completely just chucked out the window and just started speaking. It's like if I was speaking to you in the street.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and when I was back to like, there's bounty bits where the viewers are like, what do you say?
And what even is that? I realised that after I listened back to the one with Bruce as well. I was like, whoa, I was really borders then. Oopsie. Never mind.
I know what you're saying. That's all that matters.
Ah, it's fine. Scottish folk ken. That's all that matters.
Yay. What is your favourite like style of food or like, food cuisine? Depends on.
Italian.
Solid.
I love pasta. Like, I love it. Like,
can't go wrong with pasta.
Like, there's so many ways you can make it, and like, yeah, it just never lets me down either. Like, I do like other ones, but like that one would be my top one for sure.
That's fine. Favourite pizza topping?
Funny that me and Megan were talking about this the other day, and it would be a barbecue base with chicken, mozzarella, and red onion.
I like that. That's fair. Yeah.
Yeah, pretty plain, but it's great.
Simple is the way to go for pizzas. If you start if you start like over complicating it, I don't know. Just nah. Does pineapple belong on pizza?
I would eat it on pizza because I like pineapple, so I would eat it if it was on there. But like, yeah, wouldn't be my first choice, but I would eat it.
That's a first strike.
Okay, that's fine. I can take it. It's all right. It won't be the last. Just saying.
I'm hoping it's the last. You were doing fine until then. What is your favourite film?
Oh, well, funny you say that actually. This time of year is a good time to ask me that. So I've got this. Yeah, but it's only because I watch it like I don't know how many times before Christmas. It's really bad. It's really embarrassing. I wouldn't say it's my favourite film, but favourite film this time of year, The Nativity.
Okay, that's not what I thought you were going to say, but fair enough. That's a good film.
Yeah, favourite film. I find that one hard to answer because I don't really have one. I do like I like a mixture of things, if I'm honest. I'm trying to think. Oh no, I'm actually lying. I am honestly just lying. I've got it. I found it. I don't know how it didn't come to my head before, but 101 Dalmatians. I love it. Can't stop watching it.
The animated one or the live action one?
Either, honestly, no fussy. Even 102 Dalmatians, if you're really struggling, I'll watch anything. I just love it. Like, I don't know what it is. I just think it's so like cool and just probably because there's dogs in it, to be fair. But yeah, everyone always takes the mick out of me for that one because literally anytime they see me with my iPad, I'm sitting watching that. Anyway.
There's worse things to watch.
True. I'm glad you're in support of this.
I have to. My fiance is a big Disney nut. It's like, I don't know how to describe it. Disney daft.
Yeah, that's cool. Well, we can be friends then. It's fine.
I'll let her know.
Cool.
I'll let her know. She'll be chuffed for that. What's your favourite song or like music genre?
Oh, these are really hard for me because I'm not really like I do listen to music, but I'm not like crazy on a certain sort of like I like a mixture, if I'm honest. Like I like Red Hot Chili Peppers, I like Pink, I like a bit of like why is it not coming to me? Picture This. I like a mixture, really. I'm not really a set thing. I'll listen to a mixture of things. Nothing
wrong with that. And I like the variety you give me there. Is there any song? Is there any song that stands out though, regardless of what style of music you listen to?
I mean, not really. Like I am quite open. Like I'll listen to just anything, but probably. Oh, it's hard, you know. I'm trying to think of my playlist at the minute, and I'm not really, like I said, I don't listen to the same things all the time. I listen to a mix. So no, not really. I don't think there is any songs in particular. Not really. I'll just listen to anything.
That's fair
Certain
enough.
moods for certain moments is what I'd say. That's what I'm like. If I need
Right,
to cry, I'll stick something on Spotify that makes me cry, because I'm not really a crier. So if I need to let it out, I'll just put a sad song on and I'll just let it out in the car.
it's a weird way to do it, but fair enough.
Yeah, but also if I'm like on the way to the game, for instance, I'll listen to like Surface's radio playlist on Spotify, which is super chill. And then I'll take my headphones out and listen to whatever's in the change room.
You keep making me think of different questions and you're changing the answer every time I've got a question in my head. I was gonna say, what's the game, like the pre-match game song, but
Well, Chloe did make me a playlist because obviously she was injured for the last game, so she made me a playlist for the last game, and it was class. Like, I had a mixture of things in it. Every time a new song came on, I was like, "Oh, that's quite cool." Because like I'm not fussy, so I don't mind.
yeah,
Like,
that's fair.
the one that me and Chloe listen to a lot, to be fair, is Little Nas. That's what I want. Don't know if you know that one.
That's not what I was expecting. Fair enough. You're just I feel like I understand you, and then you come out with this, and you've just made me draw blanks. But that's a good thing though.
Yeah, well, like that's the song that I'd say that's the one that we listen to. That's always on the way to the game on the bus. That one
Okay.
at some point, like usually as I'm coming into the ground, I'll have that on. But that's just because like that's like just part of our friendship, and that we'll look at each other on the bus, and I'm like, I know what you're listening to. Yeah, you don't even need to say it, and I just know what you're listening to. And then I'll show her my phone. I'm like, is it this? And she's like, yeah, that's it. So yeah, like that is got meaning behind it more than anything.
Fair enough. I'm guessing Chloe Rowe is like your best friend, like your ride or die, your best friend.
Yeah, like definitely, like especially I'd say over the last like couple of years, like we became even closer. We've both went through a few things like away from rugby, and I think it's definitely brought us closer. At like Scotland, like everyone will see it from like Instagram and stuff. We are very close, and I think there's moments where I wouldn't get through if she wasn't there. So I think I'm the same for her though, which is how it should be really. But yeah, I've got a few good friends in the team, but she's definitely up there at the top, I'd say.
Good. I like that. Yeah, I was gonna say you just see a lot of pictures of you two together.
Yeah, like it's just do you know when we hang out and stuff, like it's never a hassle, and we never need to think about what we're doing. We're just so relaxed and we're just being ourselves, which is what you want really.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why we're in a lot of pictures together, because we just like to capture all the memories in that, so you don't forget, because I have a terrible memory, so I take pictures to remember.
Nothing wrong with that. That's why I started TikTok.
Well, there you go.
I forgot what I was going to say there. What is your favourite venue to play at? You can't pick the Dam or you can't pick Scotland. It has to be an away venue.
Oh,
sorry.
I was going to say the Dam because it's so good.
It is good. It is amazing.
Let me just rack my brains.
I mean, it is your new home going forward by the looks, because it's all it.
Yeah, I honestly, I'm quite happy. I enjoy playing there. The atmosphere is great, and you can interact so much better with the fans because they're closer. And like the bit after, like I'll quite often slip through the security gate and come the other side and just speak to everyone because I don't mind. Yeah, so like I would have said the Dam, but if I was thinking of another one in terms of like atmosphere and like noise, obviously the World Cup was incredible, by the way. Like Whangarei was awesome, but that's obviously an exceptional case. Like I said, like that doesn't happen all the time. So the best venues genuinely are usually in France.
Yeah, I've heard this quite a lot.
Atmosphere at the French being, whoa, I know they're not shouting on us, but like it's loud.
Loud, yeah.
It's great. And like they often have like nighttime kickoffs, which sometimes are a wee bit late for me. Like 8:45 is just pushing it a wee bit. But
yeah, I've noticed that even with that's all on like France, Australia. I was like, oh cool, it's like 9 o'clock kickoff. I was like, are you winding me up?
No, I know. Like I do enjoy like a late kickoff, but that's a wee bit too late. But yeah, the atmosphere at when we play France away, like it is hard to play there in terms like obviously it's France away and they're all supporting France pretty much. But in terms like the atmosphere and the crowds and stuff, like France do put on a show.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I wouldn't say there's a specific ground. I'd just say playing France away generally has a pretty decent atmosphere.
No, I agree with that. I like that. I'm guessing you're really up for a Friday Night Lights at some point down the line then.
Yeah, do you know what would be pretty cool is if they did it down here as well in the borders? That'd be great. Like remember when they used to play the Scotland Women games at Netherdale? Oh my days, that would be an absolute dream if they did that. I don't think they will, but a Friday night game would be cool. I do like a wee Friday night at 7:30, but I know that doesn't always work for everyone because everyone's got work and stuff. But yeah, Friday night or Saturday night, I like them. Pretty good.
Fair enough. Is there anything on Netflix you're currently binge watching, or do you recommend to watch?
Oh, I'm actually watching. I don't know if you've seen this before. I'm actually watching a thing called Grace and Frankie. Have you seen it?
I've not, but I've kind of like I don't know if I do. If I don't know what.
It's basically about these two old couples, and basically they split up and whatever. And there's these two women that live in like a beach house, and then these two guys like get together and they live in like the house that used to be one of the married couples. Anyway, whatever. It's just funny. Like it's just so easy watching. But the bit that makes me laugh the most is the two women seriously remind me of my mum and her friend. Honestly, it's hilarious. I'm like, oh my days, that is mum and that is my godmum, Auntie Sandra. It's them both. It's actually crazy. So I just watch it, I just laugh because it just reminds me so much of them. So yeah, I watched that. I have watched it before, but I'm watching it again. But yeah, wee bit Grace and Frankie's good for the soul, you know. Gives you a good laugh.
Fair enough. It does keep coming up quite recommended. So
You should try it. I'm telling you, it's good. You'll get hooked though, so be ready.
You'll get a message if I get hooked. Don't worry.
Yeah, so that's kind of what I'm watching at the minute, but it's just easy, you know. I can just shove it on and just chill.
That's fair enough. I was going to ask, do you have any tattoos? But you've kind of already shown us.
Yeah, I know. I can't really show you because I'm not very good with the angles on this iPad. But yeah, I've got. Let me just count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9.
9. I thought there was well more than that, but
I think it's 9. Yeah, I got one when I was away actually. Don't know if you'll be able to see it.
oh, you all kind of got
I mean, kiwi. You see that?
I like that. That's cool. That's
That's next to my thistle. So my thistle goes up the back of my arm there, and then I've got a wee kiwi at the bottom. So the thistle was for my 50th cap, and then the kiwi is obviously just for being at the World Cup and that, and just I couldn't not get one.
Yeah, of course.
It was just there. But yeah, I've got loads of ones. They all have meaning behind them. Because I feel like if you're putting something on your body, it's got to have some sort of reason behind it. So yeah, all mine have reason behind them.
You're like my mum with that. My mum always said, if you're getting a tattoo, it has to mean something. And my first tattoo, it did mean something, and now I've got like a few that just mean absolutely nothing.
I mean, I'm all for like
but
that's cool. Like that's fine.
Thank you.
Like a couple of mines are like they do have meaning, but it's more like what they mean in general rather than a specific thing. Whereas some of them have a specific meaning.
That's fine. I always like the tattoo conversation just because I've got tattoos and it's. I guess you to learn about people as well, not just.
Yeah, like I don't mind telling you what they mean if you want me to tell you what they mean.
Go for it.
So obviously those two I've just said are the wee kiwi and the thistle or rugby, and then I've got another one on the inside of my arm, and it's got like my favourite quote, and it says, "Don't dream your life, live your dream." And it's got like you can't see it, but I'll tell you, it's got like a wee rugby ball and a thistle.
Nice.
The one on my forearm is the palm tree, and the date underneath it's my goddaughter's date of birth. Which is quite cool. And then I've got a turtle on my left arm, with a bit of tribalness on it. You'll be able to see it.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah.
So yeah, I've got that one, and that just means like good life, good health. Got it when I was in a really good place in my life. If I'm honest, it was actually just after COVID, but I just reconnected with one of my friends, and we had an actual great time during COVID. I know it was a really bad time for a lot of people, and it was a bad time for me as well in certain aspects. But reconnecting with my friend was just awesome. She got a tattoo at the same time. Granted, hers was like that size, but I got that one. She got that, and then I've got ones on my leg. You'll have seen it because obviously I wear my socks down. I've got a compass on one leg, and that was at a point in my life where I didn't really know which direction I was going to go in, but I knew I was going to pick the right one eventually. So yeah, that's kind of what that represents. And I've got a wee feather in the bottom my Achilles on my right foot, and that just is for people that have unfortunately left us, but I want to keep them close by. So that was that for. I got that done this year actually at the start of the year, and the tribal band around my leg, again has a turtle in it, and again I just got it at a point where I feel like I've done a lot of good things, and I've done a lot of good things for people, and I just wanted to remind myself that I'm a good person. So yeah, I just got it for that reason.
You're a good person. Well, in my eyes anyway.
So that's what they mean. So now when you see them, you can be like, oh yeah, I know what that means now. And anyone listening knows as well, which is cool.
What, just annoy random people stand next to me. Like, fun fact, that turtle on Lana is actually because of this.
Aye. I've got one on the back of my neck, like at the top of my back as well. It's just my zodiac sign. So it's I'm Libra, so it's a set of scales, obviously like set of upside down scales, like because obviously a Libra is like a balanced human being. So like it's a set of scales upside down, but it's like tribally, which kind of matches in with the one on my arm and the one on my leg.
I like that. That's quite cool.
Not many people have seen that one. I actually sometimes forget it's there because it was the first one I got, but yeah, I do like it.
I've got one right on the back of my neck, and sometimes I'll catch it in the mirror and I'm like, what's that?
Aye, what was that? Yeah, no, like, yeah, that was the first one I got. So yeah, no, that's the same, and I will get more. I just always wait till a point where I have a reason for it, or like there's a summon I see and I'm like, I really, really want that for this reason, and I'll just get it.
There's one I need to actually get it booked because it should have happened a while ago, but I've just never had the time to get it done or the funds. So
yeah, I was gonna say they're quite expensive, so I always do it at a point where I feel like I've got the money to do it.
Yeah, that's fair. That's the best way. Might start doing it as birthday. If they go, oh, what do you want for your birthday? Give me a tattoo, or put down a deposit for a tattoo at least.
Yeah, just give you, like most places do vouchers now anyway, so just tell people to get you vouchers for a place, and then you can just use the vouchers. That's what I did for one of mine, actually.
And then just cry into a pill when you get it done.
Aye, some of them are a bit nippy. Whew.
That's when you get the ones that are like, oh, tattoos on her. Yes, they do.
Aye, they do. Like they're burny. Like some of them, I didn't really feel the one on my forearm. I think it was just where it was sitting. Bits on my arms I don't feel, but there's certain bits that'll hit like a nerve, and you're like, whoa.
I mean,
straight in my ear.
The one I've just shown you on my arm.
Yeah.
The middle section was fine. See the bit at the bottom, like the bottom eye, I could have killed the boy, honestly.
Aye, see mine just like right in the middle of my forearm, so like it was just the top of the palm tree when it was getting close to my elbow that I could feel it. But the rest was fine.
I don't know if you can see it, but I've got like one in there.
Oh, aye.
It wasn't meant to be that big.
Right.
It wasn't until I was like lying and I looked and he's about that off my armpit. I was like, whoa.
I know. You have to like make sure they put this on the way you want it and make sure it's the right size.
It's fine. It actually looks better the size it is.
No, it looks good, to be fair.
I think I wanted it 2 at the time, but oh well.
Yeah,
where is your dream holiday destination?
Well, after being in New Zealand, that was incredible. Like, to be honest, that was up there. But I have always wanted to go to Canada. I don't know why. I've got a notion I want to go there, so I will go there at some point, probably when I finish playing rugby.
I like that. That's cool. I've lost my place again because we're having such a good conversation.
Sorry.
Who's the best roommate, like when you're on tour or for away games? Who's the best roommate?
Oh, you're putting me in it now. Oh,
I love getting them in it. I love people getting in the trouble for it.
Do I have to just pick one? Because I find it hard to just pick one.
You can pick two since we're getting on so well.
Oh, that is tough going.
And if you didn't like pineapple on pizza, you would have got 3, but you're only getting 2. So.
I would pick Rachel McLaughlin.
Okay.
Would be top pick probably, because me and her just, I don't know, like we just have a great time, and I feel like I understand her very well as a person and she understands me very well, so you're basically living with the person. You can't get away from them, so you have to understand what they need and what they don't need. I feel like she really gets me, so we have a great time. So she'd be one of them. And the other one, oh, this is really tough. Based on recent roomies,
Oh God, right.
I would say Sarah Bonner.
Oh, I love Sarah.
Because we spent a lot of time together during the summer and we get on so well, and similar to Rachel, she just gets me, I just get her, and we're a wee bit different in like personalities, and she's a bit more outgoing than me, but actually we make a good pair. So that would be the two I'd pick right now if you put me on the spot right in this minute. But there is others that I enjoy sharing with.
Fair enough.
Evie Gallagher being one, just before she
Oh,
says,
you
why did you not pick me?
You somehow stole a third.
No, I know,
I'm
but
gonna-
it's because like obviously she unfortunately didn't make the World Cup, but like me and her like get on so well, and I am really close to her as well, so she would be another of my top choices. I mean, I feel like I'm relatively easy to room with, so like I'd probably get on with anyone, but those are my top three.
That's fair. I'm gonna flip it though and make you the enemy. Who's the worst roommates? Who's just an absolute no-go? You could love them as people, but you just can't share a room with them.
Right. This is actually quite easy because I'm a light sleeper. So
Okay.
how many am I getting? Two? Did you say two?
Yeah, two, yeah.
Rona, because she snores and I really can't. I just can't. Like, I'm such a light sleeper. Anyone that makes noise, I'm like, nah, I can't be in a room with you. Like, I love Rona to bits, and she knows that. But like, her snoring would keep me up all night. And the same with I'm actually putting them in it here, but Emma Orr as well. Like, she snores really badly.
Oh, fair enough.
Well, I've actually never roomed with her, to be honest, but I did sleep next to, when we were away at the Marines doing like a team building thing.
Oh yeah,
We're on
yeah.
like little camp bed things, and she was just not right next to me, but near me, and I could hear her. So yeah, those two, just based on the snoring thing, because other than that, I am open to anything other than that.
Fair enough. I will tell Ronan though. I'll be like, I hear you snore.
Everyone knows as well.
Well,
so, but if you put Emma and Rona together, it's fine because they both snore.
Or just trying to out. Yeah.
Someone that's a heavy sleeper, like I think Lisa Thompson's relatively a heavy sleeper, so she can go in with them because they don't keep her awake, whereas they keep me awake.
It's driving nuts.
Yeah, and I need my sleep because honestly, you didn't want me if I've not had my sleep.
I'll agree with you on that one. Just because it's coming to that time of year, what would you like for Christmas?
Do you know, I'm actually not needing anything if I'm really honest, because I've got far too many clothes which I'm trying to stop myself from buying. Let me have a think. I mean, what I'd like and what I can have and what is appropriate right now is very different. I would love a puppy, but that's not going to work right now because I'm never in the same place for long enough. But I would quite like do you know you get those little, I don't know if you've seen them, they're like little printers and they print off pictures from your phone, but they come out as like little Polaroids.
Yeah.
That's what I want. That's what I'd really, really like, would be one of them, because I love pictures and I take so many photos. I'd love to just have one of them so I can just print them off easy as that. That's what I'd ask for if I was asking for anything, would be that.
But remember, you have to do that whole like wafting.
Aye.
I went proper Scottish there with that terminology with wafting, but there you go.
I waft it and make sure it develops, eh?
Rona Lloyd or Chloe Roy?
In what respect are we talking here?
In any way you want. Best to
Chloe.
have a drink with. You didn't even think. You didn't even let me finish. It's fine.
Chloe, because I'm so. Me and Rona are good friends, but I've known Chloe a long time, and we are really close. So that's why.
The only reason I picked those two is because we've had Rona on, and Chloe mentioned your saltire cut. So
I know, like Rona is like so much fun on a night out and all these things, but I would always pick Chloe.
To be fair, the one I got Rona was a peach. I think it was Sarah Bonner or Helen Nelson, and she just kind of like.
Oh, that would have been tough for her. Yeah, nah. Chloe.
I'm cruel that way, but it's fun. Favorite post-match drink? I don't know why I've waited this long to ask you that, but there you go.
Post-match drink.
Don't say water or protein shakes because that's not tolerated on this show.
Well, that wouldn't be true either because I did drink either of them after a game. So
there we go.
if I had to have a drink of choice, first I'd drink a blackcurrant lemonade because I just love it. It's so like after a game when you need like a sugar fix, but like you're thirsty at the same time, it kind of gets them both at the same time.
Fair enough. Alcohol post-match drink though. What's your go-to?
I do love a passion fruit cider.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Fair. That's fair. Are you a going in or going out person? Night in or night out? Sorry, I worded that wrong.
No, it's alright. Depends what mood you catch me in, but probably more than likely to be a night in sort of girl.
That's fine. And final question for you today, Lana. One thing you'd like to be remembered for?
Do you know, like in rugby and in life, I just want to be remembered as like a good person in general terms, like as in like you say, like showing the passion and the pride of playing for Scotland, but also like being renowned for someone that was approachable and also like, yeah, just a good egg. That's what I want to be remembered for. Being a good egg.
I like that. And you are definitely a good egg because the book is now shut. You've absolutely crushed everything we had to offer you and more. So.
Well, yeah, I'm a bit of a chatterbox when I get going. Can't I lie?
But that's what you want. I don't like it when people just give you like one word answers. I feel like
those
it's like,
some of those questions you asked me are hard though. The one with the front rows that really got me. That was tough.
That's just, I don't even know where I got that from. I do with all our guests. Like if you're like a second row, it's all who would you like to be in the second row with?
Yeah, but I feel like see if you asked Emma Wassel that, I know for a fact she'd say Sarah Bonner straight away. Like, whereas for me it's harder because there's so many different combinations and so many.
I'm gonna start being stricter with it and be like, you can't pick someone you've played with.
Yeah, if you said that would be harder for me.
I mean, like you and like Sarah Byrne and maybe Shauna Brown that'd be.
Yeah, like these are people I'd love the opportunity to play alongside, but
yeah.
I'm just not, so I don't know what it's like. But yeah, I'd love to. Hopefully, whether it's opportunities with club or opportunities with, like you say, Lionesses or Barbarians or whatever, like other routes, whatever may come my way, like I'd really like to play with some other internationals and see what it's like to be honest, because I've just got so much respect for them, so hopefully they would enjoy the opportunity to play alongside me as well. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, never say never. The way women's rugby is going, it's skyrocketing, and you better jump on quick because it's going to leave people behind.
No, I know for sure. I'm going to be on that roller coaster. Don't worry. I'll be driving it.
That's fine. There we go. That's all that matters. But it's been an absolute blast, Lana. Thank you so much for agreeing to come on.
No, it's no worries at all. Like I say, I'm always free for a chat if ever you need me.
Yeah, you're welcome back anytime.
Of course.
So, yeah. So maybe I don't know what colour of hair you'll go for next time though. Might go.
We've got purple at the minute. It's hard to see with this light in here. It's purple just now, but so
you were blonde last time I seen you.
So blonde's like summer.
Okay.
Winter is like a sort of purpley or a darker colour, and then towards the spring, like maybe towards the Six Nations, I'll turn it back to blonde.
Why not do it? I'm going to describe it the best way I can. Why not do it like a Billy Connolly? Obviously not the beard, but like go like bleach and then purple.
Yeah, my issue is I've not got any hair on the bottom, so I can't actually dye it. Can
you not like take the knot out, dye it, and then I don't know?
Oh yeah, I could do a half and half. Okay. I could dye this bit, so this bit would be blonde and that would be purple. Ooh, no, give me ideas now.
Like, you know how like Billy Connolly had the purple beard and it was all white hair?
Yeah.
Aye, do that. But just on your head, I don't know.
I don't have a beard, so I'll do it on my head.
There you go.
You watch this space.
I believe you. Everything's possible now. But yeah, absolute blast. just sitting chatting to you like I said we would, just proper natural conversation. I loved every minute of it, and we'll see you in the Six Nations.
Fingers crossed, eh?
Oh, you're in there. Don't worry.
Hope so. I'll just keep training and see what happens.
That's it.
But yeah,
Just
absolutely. I'll see you at the games, no doubt.
you'll
Give a
see,
shout.
yeah, I'm always there.
Aye.
I feel like I need one of those passes that I can just walk my way through now and just say hi to everyone, because I just know everyone. So
Yeah, fair. No, well, I'll definitely keep an eye out for you at the games, and would love to catch up. So
yeah, and maybe have a passion fruit cider. I've never had one, so
they're good. Record a like, just saying. Record a like. Passion fruit cider is the one.
fair enough. Well, we'll end it on that. This has been the final whistle with Lana Skeldon. We will see you next time.